So, good day everyone. This is the continuation video for the origin and evolution of life. So, we discuss first the spontaneous generation, then what are we going to discuss in this video is are the remaining theories related to the origin and evolution of life. So, mainly again we will going to discuss here how scientists came up to a particular conclusion on how, when, and where the all living things here on earth originates. Yeah, so let's go. All right, so in this case, so we were going to discuss we were going to have the Miller-Urey experiment. So this is about the chemical evolution, but the thing here is it is best I will just upload a I will just link a video from YouTube about this chemical evolution that we have right here. So you just watch that video, and that video will explain what is happening or what happens during the chemical evolution. So just together with this video, I will put the link in the comment section for this concept. Next one, the endosymbiont hypothesis. I will also put a video related to this concept. So, but I will just give you a preview about the endosymbiont hypothesis. Now, you know that the cell, especially the plant cell, it has mitochondria, and at the same time it has chloroplast. So, according to some studies, that the chloroplast and then the mitochondria have its own DNA. Yes, that's right. So they have their own DNA aside from the one that is found in the nucleus. So meaning to say, it has something to do with its origin. That's the reason why those chloroplast and mitochondria contains their DNA. So in the video, you will know there how those organisms, especially plants, obtain chloroplast and mitochondria at the same time. Not only plants but also animals. Yeah. So animals doesn't have chloroplast, but they have mitochondria. Right. So that is the endosymbiont hypothesis. All right. So with that, okay, so we will proceed to the next concept, which is called the panspermia. Now, what is panspermia? All right, so how is this related to the origin of life here on Earth? So let's find out. All right, so there you go. Okay, so what do we have right here? So the origin and evolution of life on Earth. And what is panspermia? Panspermia is the idea of life originated elsewhere and migrated to Earth. Alright, so it migrates, so meaning to say that the life here on Earth comes from extraterrestrial origin, something like that. So, what is the extraterrestrial origin? So, um, it may come from asteroids, it may come from comets, it may come from or a planet colliding with our planet, so something like that. Alright, so life began in rock and kicked off the planet by an impact. So, what are the supporting statements under this idea? So it is supported by some organic material that are found in asteroids and other stuff outside Earth. All right, so like carbohydrates, some sort of proteins that are fossilized or stuck in an asteroid. All right, so asteroid or comets. Yeah. All right, so and there are some studies that there are some bacteria that are found in those extraterrestrial objects, like all right, so like an asteroid or comet, there's a bacteria that they found there, and those bacteria can withstand amounts of radiation and can go dormant under low atmospheric pressure. So meaning to say, once they are in once those organisms they are in outer space, they likely to go dormant, and then when they enter Earth, they become alive again. All right, so something like that. Okay. Alright, two schools of thought here. So we have school 1, life did not evolve easily as imagined on Earth in time scales will determine. Problem, the entire solar system was under heavy bombardment at the same time. So during the time, the formation of the Earth was bombarded by several asteroids, comets, or even planetary collision. So who knows that some bacteria originate from those objects. Alright, so the possibility of living things to be present here on Earth, it came from interstellar migration. So there you go. Alright, the problem is rock to be ejected on its own system, then fall into ours and hit the tiny planet of Earth. Alright, so meaning to say that the rock, asteroids and comets comes from other parts of other regions of the solar system, and then they just bombarded, or they just come here on Earth, bombarded it, then life evolved immediately. Right. So next idea was the life evolved easily and was everywhere with suitable conditions. Alright, so what do we have right here? Earth was not first planet with suitable conditions. So meaning to say, there are planets outside our solar system that has already living things, and the thing here is that life from that planet just migrated from our planet. So meaning to say that probably, according to this statement, that Mars before was a healthy planet, then living things was there, and what happened is when the Mars died, they just the organism there just migrated here on Earth. So who knows? Yeah. So again, there were some studies, or there were some researchers that do support that one, but the evidence were still incomplete about that kind of notion. Alright, so those are the two ideas about panspermia. Alright, so as you can see here, these are some bacteria that are found in Mars, and probably these are the bacteria that are said to be migrated from Mars to Earth. Alright, so still unknown, but alright, so these are some bacterias. Right, these are some bacteria that are found, or that is still living as of now, and comparing it with the fossilized bacteria, right? So found in that planet. So that's Mars. All right. Next. All right. What are the alternative theorems? All right. So this particular problem about panspermia still doesn't explain the origin of life in the universe. So there's still a loophole, or there's a loophole, not still, or there's a loophole here in this theory. So it is hard to find out whether living organisms truly originate from extraterrestrial origin or not. All right, so exposure to bombardments and space environment will kill life. So technically, that's how it is. So when planet Earth is hit by an asteroid, probably all living things here will die. So some scientists they have doubts about this particular theory. So how will the asteroids be the one who will carry life if the asteroids are the one who will kill life? So technically, that's how it works. Next one. Alright, so why did they have this particular idea? Because there were some organisms like these bacteria that we have right here that can tolerate certain extreme environments. For example, we have this thermophile bacteria. This bacteria can live on a very high acidic, sometimes alkaline, salty, Alright, so lithophile bacteria or radiation bacteria. So these bacteria can live on an extreme environment in which no ordinary living organism can survive. So this particular characteristic somehow gave scientists an idea that probably that living organism truly originate in extraterrestrial origins. Alright, so some extremophiles. So some can live on the volcanoes, some can live on very cold places, some can live on the deep oceanic vents. Alright, some can live when there is a high amount of radiation. Alright, so next one. Alright, is there life elsewhere in the solar system? We don't know. Alright, so but the idea is that where there is water, there is life. So scientists are still finding out if there are living things that are found in moons of Jupiter. Alright, so the Enceladus, the Io, and the Ganymede. Alright, so in Mars, who knows if there is a living thing there, and in other parts of the solar system. So scientists are still clueless about this presence of living things outside our Earth boundary. Right? Alright, so final thoughts about this this panspermia thing. So once life was established on Earth, if wiped out completely, life could not form again. So technically, this was the idea. Alright, so ingredients of life are ubiquitous. Alright, so ubiquitous, so which means it is doubtful. Alright, so there's still questions lingering here. Alright, so perhaps life is not native to Earth. So this is a concept that that life on Earth came from an extraterrestrial origin. Alright, so that is panspermia. Alright, so next one, the last theory that that is attempted by a well-known naturalist is the Lamarck's evolution theory. So what do we have right here? Okay, so before we go to that slides, the natural selection theory and then the common descent theory will be discussed to you in a form of a documentary. So in this lesson, we will just skip this one down, and alright, so I will just show you the documentary related to natural selection and common descent theory by Charles Darwin. So for now, we will finish up this theory by Lamarck. What is this Lamarck's evolution theory? How is this different from theory created by Charles Darwin? Alright, so with that, let's move forward. Alright, so this is the theories of evolution by Lamarck. Alright, so how did Lamarck came up with this kind of idea? Alright, so look at this giraffe. As you can see, so while observing the giraffe, Lamarck had an idea that the giraffe has something to do with evolution. So he asked himself, why does the giraffe have long neck? Alright, so why do giraffes have long neck? So he just observed the giraffes and he found out that he found a particular answer for his question. So alright, so why do some animals like this deer runs faster than others? For what purpose? Alright, next one, why do zebras have stripes? Alright, so technically Lamarck observed these animals and then he found out something. Alright, something unusual or some idea about how this animal came to be. Alright, so with that, we will discuss in this portion of the slide, we will discuss the theory of use and disuse, theory of acquired inheritance of characteristics. So what are this theory and how is this related to evolution? Alright, so let's start with who is Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. So he is a French naturalist and he's the one who first coined the idea regarding what is evolution all about. And he coined it in accordance with natural laws. Alright, so truly by observation, he just came out with several ideas about what they call the theory of evolution. All right, so okay, so let's move on. All right, let's move on. So all right, so what do we have right here is the first theory created by Lamarck, which is the theory of use and disuse. All right, so in this theory of his, Lamarck said that the body parts which is less get least exercise, so meaning to say you if a part is less used, right, less used or used how do we what word is this what is this word? All right, so if the part gets least exercise, it gets disappear over time. So technically, if you don't use, or if we will put this into perspective, so if you don't use your leg, eventually that part will likely to disappear, and it will not grow bigger. So it will become rudimentary. All right, so technically that's how it is explained. So the opposite is that when you use that part occasionally, all right, when you use that part occasionally, so the part will grow bigger and will develop into a something more advanced, still same functioning but advanced part. All right, so over the course of time, according to him. All right, so what do we have right here? So is it true? All right, so just leave your answer to the comment section. So what do you think? Is this theory of use and disuse a believable one or not? All right, so leave your answer in the comment section. All right, so what is happening here is this caricature. So from now on, while sitting, you just move your legs so that your legs will not disappear over time. So there you go. Okay, next one. All right, so this is how Lamarck explained the appearance of the giraffe. All right, so during the ancient times, or during the prehistoric times, giraffe neck is shorter than the one that we have right here, or the one that the modern giraffe have right now. So as time passes by, so the shorter giraffe graze on plants which is on their same height. Now, so during that time, what happened is the plants become scarce. The plant below their height becomes scarce, and then what happened is the plants become taller. So their food is now located at the treetops. So what happened? These giraffes just stretch and stretch their necks in order to reach their food, which is on the top of the tree. So over time, by stretching their necks over time, they be able to make their necks longer. And according to this theory, that this giraffe used oftentimes this giraffe use their necks in order to reach their food, so that so what happens is the neck of your giraffe becomes more developed, so becomes bigger, so in this case it becomes longer. All right, so that's the theory of use and disuse. All right, so let's go back again. So what do we have right here? So the theory of acquired inheritance of characteristic, it is simply explained as, so I didn't put the slide regarding the theory of acquired inheritance of characteristic because it is very easy to explain. So so if your giraffe already has long necks, yan. So the thing there is their offspring will automatically be long necks. Alright, so let's put it this way. Alright, so for example, if there's a dog, then you cut the tail of the dog. Alright, so you cut the tail of the dog, then so then you mate it with the other dog, which is you cut the tail also. Alright, so Meaning to say, once they have their offspring will have short tail. Right? So, if you didn't get it, there's another example. So, what if I cut my finger? So I have four remaining. So, according to this theory, which is the acquired inheritance of characteristic, so if I have four fingers, so my offspring will also have four fingers. Alright, so whatever characteristics that I gathered or whatever characteristics that I obtained over my lifetime, that will be inherited by my offspring. So that's how this theory of Lamarck's work. Now, so what do you think? Is Lamarck theory a good one or not? Alright, just leave your answer in the comment section. But technically, since the discovery of your DNA, so you know already how DNA works, alright? So, meaning to say that this Lamarck's theory that we have right here is somewhat has a loophole, or it has a loophole because what Lamarck forgot is how those traits, or what makes those organisms unique over the other. So we have what they called here variation. So he forgot to see this particular concept of what they call variation. Alright, so he forgot that one, and so that makes this Lamarck's theory a complete false, or something not to believe with. Alright, so that's the Lamarck's theory. Alright, so there you go. Alright, so with that, so we finished the Lamarck's theory, and what do we have left here is the natural selection theory by Charles Darwin. So this section will be in the documentary. So alright, so that will be for the theories and ideas that explains how origin and evolution of life occur here on Earth. Alright, although some theories have loopholes, but still, alright, theories or ideas becomes a theory if you support it with more and more evidences. Alright, so some theories here did not survive over the course of time because they lack evidences that will support their particular theory. Alright, so the last one, we will try to find out what is this natural selection and common descent theory all about. So with that, I will just leave you a quote coming from Carl Sagan. The building blocks of life represent only the notes of music of life, but not the music itself. So, which means that, alright, so the building blocks of life, the nucleic acid, carbohydrates, alright, the lipids, alright, so the proteins are only things that makes up the living thing. Alright, the question here is how did those building blocks came to be in the first place? Alright, so how is it possible that those building blocks be able to be created in the first place? Alright, how did those building blocks came to be? Alright, that can be a part of the building blocks of life. Alright, so this is the quote coming from Carl Sagan. Alright, so that's it for this discussion. I hope you did learn something new on this topic. So with that, good day, and I hope you did understand everything here. Alright, so goodbye.